Okay, so in part three, what the main priority is just to focus about the text. It's not so much about the visual design. So previously, you were asked to focus on writing a definition for what a digital footprint was and what a positive aspect of having one is, as well as a negative or a cautionary aspect of what people need to be aware of so they don't end up getting in trouble later on in life. What you need to do is tweak that so that it's written in a language using words that are suitable for 10-year-olds, as well as concepts that are suitable for 10-year-olds. So, for example, if you're talking about a potential warning about your digital footprint, for students in your age group, being around the 13, 14 years of age, it's getting pretty close to when people are starting to think about getting some work. So it's quite suitable for you to be cautious of the things which you're posting online with the knowledge that a potential employer may see that. For someone who's 10, that's a long way away. So they probably won't be focused as much on that. So for a 10-year-old, a potential warning, an example could be focusing on not giving out their personal address in a Roblox chat window. And then you could elaborate a little bit on that and explaining why. But at the same time, you've got to make sure that your explanation is suitable for that young child, and it's not something that's getting too crazy, too complicated. A little bit scary can be okay, but you don't want it to be something that's going to give them nightmares. So it's about balance, and it's about you making a judgment call about what is going to be okay. And imagine that these posters are going to be placed up around the junior school. That's probably a good way to keep yourself in check. So if parents are coming in, students are seeing it, the teachers are seeing it, it's got to be suitable for all of them to view that content. Now, when it comes time to actually putting the text into your work, if I go back into Photoshop, you can see here I'm in my original images section. I'm going to go back over to my poster, which at the moment I haven't got anything in. So it's actually a pretty good spot to start off with by putting our text into the document. Then we can place it around, worry about the layout, and then we can put the images and background, colors, heading, all that sort of stuff we can do after. But it's good to focus on the text-based component so that we make sure we've got enough room for that. To do that, I'm going to go over onto my letter T here, which is for text. And we can change different fonts and sizes and stuff like that up here. But what I'm going to do is left click and drag out. So I'm actually going to make a text box. All right. Now, this text that comes up here is called placeholder text. It's Latin. It's officially a dead language. Some people can speak it, but most countries will be speaking a different language these days. So the reason we use it is so that we can see what the text looks like, the size, the font, how it fits, without getting bogged down with what the content is. So right now, I can see that for my poster, if I was to make this text box bigger, this writing's pretty big. So I might want to just click somewhere in it and press Control A, and that selects all of it. And then I can drop the size down, and I might think, or maybe 24 is better. Depends upon your poster and how you want to place that and how large to make it. Now, right now, I've still got all that placeholder text. So with that selected, I'm going to press Delete. So that's gone. And in here, I might be putting in my, my definition. And then I might have all of my text placed in this box. Now, once I've got that in there, I can still resize it. And then I can use my move tool and I can place that somewhere else that is suitable on my page. So I might want my digital footprint to be front and center, for example. Now, layout options is the same as if you're in Word. So if I go back on my text tool again and then hover over the writing and click on it, it takes me back into the edit mode. So if I highlight all of that, I've got my alignment options up the top here. So I want my heading to be centered, but then maybe if I've then got some body text, and I'll just highlight this and copy and paste it a few times just so I've actually got something there. Okay, what would make sense would be if I was to highlight that and do a normal left alignment. And you can see there it's put that big gap there because I didn't put a gap in between all these other words, which was pretty lazy of me. So if I was to put a space there, then that writing goes straight up the top. So focus on getting your writing in there so that it's nice and clear, easy to see, and also that your wording and your concepts are suitable. Also, one last thing is if I've got my digital footprint, I'll just move that up there out of the way. If I've got that there, then I might want to put in another text box, and this one might be about the positives. Okay, and I'll move that one a little bit out of the way. And then one final text box, and this one will be the caution or the warnings. All right, so to remind you again, if you want to go back in and change your writing, so I've got the move tool selected at the moment. That doesn't let me edit my writing so much. If I click on the text tool and then hover it over that, then that takes me into the edit mode, and then I can modify and I can change all of this writing. Okay, so that will help you a little bit with getting your text on there, and then as an option later on, we'll then be focusing on getting your images in, tweaking them, resizing them, just working on the general layout, and trying to start getting this to resemble an actual poster. Also, a proper, nice, big heading would be really good as well, which you want to stand out and be like visible, easily seen from quite a distance away.